In episode 146, we're going to talk about capital gains taxes and inflation, so stick around. Welcome to the Mullooly Asset Show. I'm your host, Tom Mullooly, and this is episode number 146. Thank you for tuning in. Interesting topic to talk about, capital gains taxes. Why aren't they indexed to inflation? That's a really good question. Inflation-related gains don't always represent the actual growth in wealth over time. Let me back off a second and kind of unpack that for you. When inflation is ignored in calculating gains on an investment, the investor usually winds up getting taxed on gains that they didn't really make. I don't know if you're with me so far, so let me give you an example. Suppose an investor puts $5,000 in the stock market back in the year 2000, it's almost 20 years ago. The investment has now grown hypothetically from $5,000 where they started to $8,000 today. Under the current tax law, they would be taxed on a $3,000 gain. Problem is, the $5,000 back here in the year 2000 when they got started with is equivalent today to roughly $7,100 with inflation, meaning the investor really only made $900. The difference between the $7,100, what the inflation adjusted value is today, and the actual amount of $8,000. So the net gain, the inflation indexed gain, is only $900, not the $3,000. So if capital gains were indexed for inflation, this hasn't been done in the past, but if they were indexed for inflation, the investor would pay taxes on $900, not $3,000. That's a big difference. Even worse, suppose the $5,000 were invested and it only grew to $7,000. $7,000 over time, I mean, it doesn't seem like a bad return. However, under current tax law, that investor would have a $2,000 gain, a taxable gain, even though their investment didn't keep up with inflation over all those years. So why am I bringing this up? Why are we talking about indexing capital gains for inflation? This afternoon, the White House proposed a plan to index capital gains to inflation. This is a giant bit of news. Don't know how far it's going to go through the Washington channels, but it's a topic that came up in the Bush administration about 20 years ago. Didn't make it through Congress, but it's something that's going to be discussed in the coming days. Hot topic. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next episode.